Morning. Well, we've got a busy week this week. It's Jakob's last week, so we're going to get him to start painting the engine bay. If I had known how difficult it was going to be before, I think when the hull was being built, I would have got it painted before the engine went in, but I didn't know, and so now we've got to sand it and paint it with the engine in, which is going to be a sort of double jointed act, crawling around in a small space, but it has to be done. After that, he'll be leaving after next weekend, and I'll do the front locker and the gas lockers, which will be a lot easier, I think. I'm continuing with the tongue and groove, which is going to take most of the week. We've got flood warnings, there's a storm surge and spring tides down at the boatyard, so we're going to have to keep an eye on things down there. And Henry's continuing with the plumbing, so lots to do. I'm going to see how the mobile home on the pontoon is getting on. So we've come back to the tongue and groove. It's proved problematic. We've made all the tongues and all the grooves, filled, sanded, but the finish is still not, I'm not really happy with it. In the grooves, because it's pine, it's not cut as cleanly as it could have done. So I'm going back and sanding down with a really coarse sandpaper all the bevels, and then repainting them. Although it's reclaimed wood, we want it to look as perfect as it can. We don't want, a shonky finish on it. So there we go. It's a lot of work. Back to a thumb splint and a sanded off nail. But anyway, that's the way it goes. But after lots of experimentation, I've chosen a really nice colour for the basic fit out. Is going to be all Vanilla Mist by Dulux. Very nice. It's got it's a sort of creamy white, and it picks out the melon yellow of the windows. The rest of the boat will be trimmed with a sort of pale blue and a pale green. So inside will be bright and light and calm. But the outside will be the opposite. We'll see. So anyway, there's a few days on these. But as they're being done, they're being fitted around the boat, which again is taking a long time because obviously on a boat you can't use a level, and getting them straight with a slightly wobbly floor is proving to take a long time. But we're getting there bit by bit. So Saturday, and it's high tide, and we've come down to check out the boatyard, and the water's right up over the slipway through the yard and going out onto the A259. Boats are okay, they're boats after all, but there's a few vans and cars that have got their wheels submerged. It's a bit tricky getting around. Our boat's fine, it's over in the corner right up high, so we can get on and off it without needing to put our wellies on. This is up on the footbridge looking towards the houseboats, and Extinction Rebellion are coming across with the Red Rebels, making a point about the increasing high tides and climate change. Meanwhile, back over on the slipway, huge improvements been made on the pontoon. The floats underneath have been filled with expanding foam, so they're never going to sink now. And a whole lot of steel has been brought in, galvanized steel, nice frame being made. So I imagine fairly soon the mobile home can go back on top, and then it'll be towed across there to the other side of the river. Oh, and look, there she goes. She's got 4 chaps from the yacht club on a dinghy in each corner, and they're going to take her across the river. The tide is just, it's at its highest now, and it's sort of not going down or up, so best time to take it over. And away she goes. Well, that's the end of another week. Jakob has got a couple of coats of red oxide primer on in here. What a job that was. And Henry is just connecting up the battery to run the engine, which we have to do for a couple of minutes once a week, and we forgot last week, so need to have a little run of it now. And then next week I'm going to be back in here painting the bilge with, well, it is the bilge, painting it with bilge paint, and then the locker at the other end too. I'm going in. It's a long way down. I'll see you later.